Okay. Sure. Looks like this might be Kona. It's pretty unfortunate for us, but hey. I guess we can start making them discard though. And we have a way to bounce the discard. Okay, get one of those out. Yeah, I can't remember the specific list we're running right now, so we might not have a way to deal with that. But he's already got the cavern too. He just needs a way to tap it now. We just play out another one. I think maybe we do, right? So then we'll do this. Let's probably do this turn as this. Yeah, and hopefully he starts having to discard like some of the combo pieces now. Some of the stuff he really needs. Okay. Yeah, he's desperation. He can't even kick that right now. He can only dig 3 deep, get 1 card. Bins and Omniscience. And that must mean he has a second one in his hand, right? He gets the Kona out. He cannot tap it though. And I think we can make him get rid of it right now. Now, hold on. So if we pixie bounce it, we still only can afford 1. So I think we Kieran bounce it and play it out. So we've already hit 1 Omniscience. We hit 1 Kona. And he still has no way to tap. Okay. Yeah, and now he just wins the game if that's an Omniscience in his hand. And of course, oh wait, importantly, he has no card draw. So, I think, do we just do the bounce again here? Bounce and kill the Kona. He has Omniscience though, so, and I don't think in this list we actually have the commando that could have hit that. So the Kona's not really terribly impactful here. I feel like we still want to get it off the board, but it's looking pretty grim. So this also plots. Holding that up could, I don't know. I guess we just kill and get rid of it again. He's stuck top decking even if he has Omniscience. And we start trying to chip away. It's big for us. Unfortunately, we can't play this plus hold up the interrupter. So I think we just play out the pixie, bounce this, and then keep chipping. Because he could try to play, it becomes plotted. Yeah. So that's any spell. It's actually not just creature spells. Oh my goodness, that's so big. This is really big too, because now we can Zenith and hold up the interrupter. And yeah, he's getting pretty close to being dead here. We can plot like any spell he tries to play this turn and swing in for lethal this turn, which is huge. He literally, he hit the combo and we still won the game, which is crazy. Nice. And this is like top, like easily, I think like top 3 decks right now. Most people would probably say literally top 1 or 2. Got beat by like pixie shenanigans. Oh my goodness. Even though he had like a lot of the pieces really early. It's pretty nice. Alright. I did not even mean to keep that. I literally Misclicked. Well, guess we play out Cecil. Do we shock in the shrine? I feel like we don't want a demi down, probably. Yeah, the shock probably really hurts. Of course, though, if we get it down this turn, we can get one of these. I think we don't shock it. Can't we play it back out in our second main phase? Am I missing something? Okay. Get down Cecil again. Let's play. Just like enter tapped. He's probably gonna count. No, I thought he was bouncing it maybe to like counter. He's just trying to slow us down here. Yeah, I'll definitely like he can pump this to kill Cecil, but like Bellion still dies, and that's a big card for him. Okay. Yeah, see, he doesn't want to lose it. I think we do this. Now, if we play this, he probably has a counter spell for it. So maybe we just wait, because it seems like that's kind of what he's doing. He's like waiting around to counter something or flash something in, you know? And we can wait and see what he does. Also, if he tries to like flash in the cat this turn, we can interrupt. Yeah, that's what he's doing, so. Now it's plotted. I don't know why it's showing 0, because it should cost 2 for him, but. Cecil having death touch is really nice too. Not having any interaction for our like bounce, nothing to bounce here really sucks. I literally misclicked keeping this hand. I basically can't play this because he's almost certain to have some kind of counter spell that hits it, and I really don't want this to get counter spelled. So I think we just attack in. Of course, if we do play this and can attack in, that is really big. I feel like we just can't, but we could actually get it back maybe even with the... So let's try it. We gotta break through the counters somehow anyway. So, and he's holding up mana like every turn. Yeah. Gets to tap both with the Drix interception. That's pretty nice. for him. Yeah, it's looking pretty rough. Us not having any of the, like, none of the cards we're actually trying to bounce, you know, and none of the, like, main stuff this deck's actually built around is pretty grim here for us. See, and again, we have the pixie, but, like, we don't have anything really important to bounce. Now we could flanker to get the HP, because we're literally going to need it, especially if he can tap this stuff down again. But we could also impend. Well, we could actually do. I think we impend this to get the. We do the impending. Try to get back the acolyte. We'll take the acolyte, and then. Attack in with this, I think. And potentially flanker for the health and the scry. Have a couple bounce options here. Whenever, okay. The spell costs 1 less a cast. Yeah, not really an awful lot we can do about that. Great card for him. We still have none of our, like, removal, discard, anything like that. So, really not a ton we can do here. On top, I think. Well, it actually doesn't really hit what we needed to. Of course, we can bounce it. We can play it, bounce it, play it. And, yeah, I think we do that. So, kill that and kill that. Another one. Yikes. Okay. Well, I mean, we can start by... hold on, we can gain hexproof and indestructible. So, yeah, man, it'd be really nice to have, like, the Grim Bauble or something here. Just in addition to this, right? So, play this. This, play out the pixie, get it back, 2/2/2, and we can leave up a blocker. He can't flash anything in. I kind of don't want to chump with the pixie. I'd rather chump with the interrupter, but I guess if we chump with the pixie, at some point we could get back the pixie with the overlord. Also, if we attack in and he has a way to tap down 1 instead of 2, I think we no attack. Let's see what happens here. All the while, this is impending, pretty big for us. Unfortunately, we also can't, without a pixie. Yeah, I guess we chomp with the interrupter, right? Now what do we do? We could get some health and a scry again with the flanker. We could also, that double blocks. So Yeah, I think we don't try to play the Acolyte here. I'd really like to. I'm almost certainly he has another counter spell. And then we'd have no way to like double block or anything. I think we just pass the turn. And also, all the while, the longer this goes on, the closer we get to this being a reality. So we could flanker. We can't Ademi and like indestructible. Of course, we could just Ademi. He's definitely trying to play something here. Bounce. Hexproof and indestructible. Sack. You have to sack a demi though. Huh. I think maybe we do that though. He's got a counterspell or something. Trick's interception. I guess we flanker here too. Cosmogrand. It's a good card. Sure. Yeah, so we're still just dead, basically. Yeah, he's got one card, though. Huh. Can we... If we pixie get this back, play it out, that still doesn't really do anything for us, right? I guess we play this out. Pixie. Also threatening the double block. Nice. This is impending one more turn now. You can probably bounce this or tap it down. I think you double block. Yeah. Okay. Now, do we try to play this out this turn? I think maybe we do. We've already burned through like a few of his counters. Sun Pearl Carrying. Yeah, I don't really want to bounce any of my own stuff. I can if like we run into any issues. Also like nowhere to run. So like he probably has a counter spell and just counters this. Does not. It's fine though. Like, do we actually attack in? He can he has Rebellion, we have to remember about. And he has to... We get this though, as well. I think we at least attack in with something, right? Like, we need to start hitting his life total. Especially while he's like low on cards here. He can definitely flash stuff in. So the flyer, he definitely has like flash flyers, and we're low. Huh. He has the Bellion too. And he could potentially flash in 2 creatures. I think maybe just this. And then we'll get this back and have a flyer and 2 other blockers for right now. And then whenever whenever you cast your second spell each turn. I think maybe we actually do. And we don't bounce anything. See what he does. I think we create a couple tokens here. Might start getting difficult for him to deal with, and then the next time we do it, we can pump everything. So we've got kind of a big board. It's going to be a big problem for him to deal with now. He's only got 2 cards as well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can just chump with tokens. Not really a big deal here. Can literally even... Yeah, he's getting pretty desperate. Stock up's big for him because that was one of our main advantages here. Also importantly, the nowhere to run cannot hit Bellion. Well, we could definitely play this onto the Cutthroat. And then we could even play in one of these. I mean, 5, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think we do. You just do this. Put +1/+1 counters on it. Like, what's he gonna do? Does he have an Aetherize? That would destroy us, but what do we get back here, actually? We already have an Acolyte down, right? No. I'm tripping. Can we get the Acolyte? Yeah, if he hasn't Aetherize, he does. Of course he does. Oh my goodness, that's insane. He has the Aetherize. The, whatever it's called. It's the Aetherize. Wow. And he lives to fight another day. What? I think we play another one of these down. Oh, I'd love to bounce this, get it back, kind of like do the shenanigans again. Yeah, we've got a lot of options here, and he has no cards. I think we want to make tokens for sure, right? Like, so we play cheap stuff, hit this back, and then we play this out too. Create the tokens. You know what that is. So we've got blockers we can chump with. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, that was really close though. Him having the Aetherize there is like insane. Also, like, I don't think I've seen that run in mono blue tempo. They're like in the mono blue tempo list that people have been playing recently. I haven't yet to see an Aetherize, and that was like literally the only card that could have saved him there, and he just happened to be running it and have it in hand. The stock up hit it for him. I'm guessing like that is pretty crazy. So good play to him, I guess. Okay, we've got one of each. Got a pixie. Nothing really like to bounce it with at the moment, or to bounce with it. We have the Cecil to play out too. I guess we keep hope for the best. Kit Kat Caboodle. And looks like he might be playing the basically no interaction for that right now, other than the interrupter. So that's not looking super great. Yeah, this is looking a lot like Kona. I think we play this, let it be like tap land. Hexproof and indestructible. Yeah, like. I mean, I guess we could get it out this turn and start trying to race his life total down before he can do anything important, but. Yeah, he's looking at that card. I haven't seen it a ton until recently either. I mean, it is from the new set, but people aren't really playing a ton of stuff from the new set, really. So we definitely want to be able to hold up the interrupter. This is tap, this is shock, so I think we just play this and then swing again. Unfortunately, we can't do... I mean, importantly, this is a 3-2, so we're doing 5 a turn now, but I mean, technically he can do his little combo like this turn, right? He didn't even kick this. And we could plot it, but I think it's not a ton of value for him. And he can always play it again. I think we want to wait and hold up the interrupter for the important things, right? Like the Kona and the Omniscience itself. Also, I believe if we plot Omniscience, he can't trick it in. Okay, yeah, he's still just digging. So we can maybe bring out the flanker even too. Get the scry. And start putting even more pressure on this. Tiny Bones is big. Start making him discard stuff. Okay. Do we need to shock this in to do that? So we can Tiny Bones, Pixie, Tiny Bones, but then we're not holding up Interrupter. And if we shock in, we can Tiny Bones, hold up Interrupter. And hopefully he has to discard some important pieces. Okay, so he gets rid of one Kona, meaning that now he's at 5, so if we can plot it this turn, I think we just have the win, right? Like, he's looking to slam the Kona, do the shenanigans. I guess not. I don't know. He's just cooked, right? Like, what's he gonna do? He's got 3 mana. I've got 8 damage on the board. Yeah. Cooking these Kona decks today. Let's go. It's like one of the top decks as far as win rate right now. It's like the win rate of this thing is insanely high, especially now that like Mono Red, Boros, Is It Prowess all got hit. Like, yeah. And we still kind of like just aggroed him down. We didn't even end up having to plot the Kona or something, so nice. Yeah. We have a Pixie, we have a two ways to bounce things, something to bounce, some good cards to play toward, and one of each color. I think we keep... Hello. Fortunately, we're on the draw here, and playing out a turn 1 Pixie kind of is a waste. Okay. This will be beautiful to hit. Oh yeah. Before all this stuff gets too big. Now if he has a Snakeskin Veil, I actually think Snakeskin Veil doesn't do anything for him here. Now, missing lands is obviously not great. I'm probably going to Snakeskin Veil here. And I don't. Maybe he will, and I think he doesn't realize that it doesn't do anything. Okay. Seemed like he was like thinking about it. I don't know. The land would be really great. Okay, that's a big win right there. I think maybe though we just momentum breaker, and then pixie something back. Yeah. Or do we want to do that? Momentum breaker, get it back. Pixie back breaker because we already have we can keep him low on stuff on the field. We can actually start discarding stuff. Oh my gosh, he's seen enough. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay. Well, we got some of the stuff we want to bounce. Nothing to bounce it with yet. We're actually on the play for once. Of course, don't have any of the, like, bounce, but I think we just keep... Throw down the shock. We can at least, like, play these out. I think we... do this. Make him sack the Tifa, and then also make him discard. Oh, actually I can't. I only have one black. It would have been nice to do, though. Still don't have any self-bounce. I think we tiny bones. Yeah, get him to do that. And then I don't think he probably can't really play out. We already got one chocobo. But this has flash too, so I think we just wait till his turn. See what he does. Interestingly, he does that before he gets... So I guess he doesn't have anything with landfall. That just seems kind of weird. I guess he needed it to get that, right? So we'll go ahead and flash this. Get back the momentum breaker, I guess. I don't think it really matters, but we'll do this. I guess we'll play this and then attack him. A land would be great, or some kind of some way of drawing cards. It's a big weakness of this deck. I've kind of been like looking at a version where maybe you play Annex for card draw, but yep. So we've already gotten rid of two Hydras and a Tifa, plus one of the little chocobos that he can pump. So a lot of the big like landfall threats are actually gone. Really nice. And yeah, he doesn't even get anything to landfall on this. Pixie is lovely. I think we Pixie. Get back this. Do we even play it out? I think maybe we do. We could wait though and Aven Interrupter something next turn. We could even impend this. I don't think we do though. I think we just keep getting rid of stuff as he plays it out, and do what we can here. Chip it away. Maybe should have taken the nowhere to run. Because yeah, they could hit this. A basic. Okay, he gets a little. He can get out of chocobo now too. Yeah, once they start kind of like going wide, that's a bit of an issue. Got the acolyte though, importantly, so we can get in, get some chumps, get some cards, get some life gain, get some chumps. Okay, don't love seeing that. But still, he doesn't really have anything too scary yet. Okay. It's actually fine because we can get that back now, which is nice. He's probably gonna pump this, no? Okay. Interesting. So maybe first we just attack in to see what we get. Now we could what do we want to do? Plotting something he tries to play next turn would be, we really want to get back another bounce so we can like kill and then kill. I think maybe we impending this, see what we get, and then make a decision. What we want to do here. Yeah, that's great. I think we get back the pixie. Because then we can, hold up. I get momentum breaker. We could actually, oh, the -4 isn't enough now, unfortunately, but we can momentum breaker. And then shock. Get it back. Of course, now he knows like what he can and can't do, but we get the chump. We have flyers to go in. Yeah. Get us some cards with the flyers. I haven't played enough with this, but whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage, you draw a card, lose 1 life. Okay. Yeah, getting rid of the flyers. Does thing have indestructible? Okay. Right. Of course it does. Actually, maybe we just next we tap in with the pixie. Get a card. Maybe play this. Momentum breaker. He doesn't want to get rid of either of those. One has indestructible and can kill our stuff, and the other one is an important chocobo for him. But hey, we might be getting there. Don't want to speak too soon here. Okay, nice. Yeah, we got there. And honestly, these landfall lists, like they're strong. This is not like a weak deck. Matter of fact, Gruul Landfall I think is one of the top lists right now, and I mean, we didn't see anything yet, but I think it's literally like what, there's like 1 red card, the burn, and then they maybe have 1, you know, they can fetch a mountain with the Fabled Passage, but they won't fetch it until they actually have that to play or want to play it. So, I mean, that's potentially one of like the top lists right now that we beat with, you know, self-bounce shenanigans. Got 3 lands. Got some stuff we want to bounce, but don't have any way to bounce it. And just some 3 drops on the draw. Yeah. Gotta keep it, I guess. Maybe not the best idea I've ever had, but right. This taps. There we go. Well, we can at least kill this. Hopefully before he can. I think the pump only gives it +1/+1 per go, so I don't think there's any way he can like get it out of range of the nowhere to run. Of course, we might want to save nowhere to run for that guy, so maybe we momentum breaker this guy. Of course. Yeah, go ahead, dude. If we nowhere to run has flash too, though, is really important to note. Okay. I think we actually momentum breaker because then, or if we hold up nowhere to run when he brings this in. Let's see. +2/+0. Yeah, so he can't get it out of range of the nowhere to run. I'd really like to momentum breaker and get this off the board before he gets even more creatures going too, but I think I'm gonna wait. Hopefully he intended to plot it for this turn. But yeah, I don't know. Nowhere to run can hit either one. Yeah, see, this is what we don't want happening. I think we know where to run. This guy. Unfortunate. He's definitely played around our. I really wanted him to play in this so I could hit and then momentum breaker, but now I've hit something else. Same conundrum. Still no way to bounce anything either, and still no like 1-drops or anything, so we could also Aven Interrupter on it, but I don't think we really want to do that. For fuck's sake, man. I think we do actually interrupt this. So that's plotted too, and yeah, that's actually big. I forgot about that. It makes, even though this is plotted and not, the Haven Interrupter makes that cost 2 mana as well, which should really start messing with his game plan here. So I think we momentum breaker, right, and then we can still hold up for whatever, which is big. Now we'd love to get a bounce outlet, but a way to start bouncing these things back, because we only have 1 left. And yeah, not great. But we are hitting lands, so, and this, we can bring back creatures. The main thing we want back is this stuff still. The Haven Interrupter is huge though. Sure, I think we just kill this. Yeah, slowing him way down here. We can actually Overlord now, like, for the impending cost, and still hold up Interrupter, which I think is a big deal. And it'll make it even more, I think it makes it cost even more for each one. I guess we'll find that out together here. Yeah, let's hit impending this. Hopefully we can get back a bounce. Yes, hit a pixie. I honestly think, like, even though the Acolyte, right, is a great, like, this is huge against him. Being able to bounce these things back and forth, and especially for so cheap right now, is a really, really big deal. I think we don't do it yet, though, because we can interrupt his next play as well. And then start playing bounce shenanigans after we interrupt what he's trying to do. He's also currently still on 2 lands. We do this again. Yep, and they go to 4 now. He's on 2 mana as well. Oh my gosh, yeah. This is so huge. We can pixie this back. We can still even play it. Get some chumps in case we need for like haste stuff. And then attack in, baby. Yeah, and we... I think we've... I don't want to be too presumptuous here, but I think we've cooked mono red. Oh my goodness. Now he's stuck on 2 lands. Maybe even still, but it's out of range now of even the 3rd land mattering for this kind of stuff. So these are... they're plotted, air quotes, plotted, but they may as well just be exiled for his fight. Like, he's not going to be able to play these. So, Kellen, okay, and I think we just kill it, like, why not, right? I guess we see what else he does for the 1-drop, but I don't really think it matters. Of course, if we wait till our turn, and we see, gets +1/+1. Yeah, if we kill it, we prevent him from doing that. So we'll just do that. He doesn't get his card draw. And yeah. See ya, mono red. Yeah, those Aven Interrupters came in super clutch there. That was big. Upping the cost like to double his how many lands he has is insane. Yeah. Really nice against these plot type of strategies, and you're actually seeing, I feel like, a little bit more of that now with like that Doc Orlock card. I forget exactly like what kind of strategies and decks people play with that, but that's a big thing for those decks, and you're seeing more of that lately as well. And I mean, obviously you see a ton of that with this Slick Shot and things like Mono Red and Boros Burn. And that's a huge, like, normally their whole strategy a lot of times is to pump the heck out of this thing in 1 turn, burn you for a ton, and then swing in with this thing pumped out of its mind and do, like, you know, half your HP in 1 turn for, like, you know, with like 3 lands or something insane. So yeah. That was good. This is feeling pretty good so far. We've been able to eke out some close games. Okay. This is the only thing less than like a 3 or 4 drop that we have. So not great. And we're on the draw. I might be greedy and keep, but like I probably should not, because a big thing with this deck, well, I mean, you can't get out most of this stuff until turn 2 anyway, and maybe by then we actually will have a way to bounce. I should probably mulligan, but we're just gonna go with it for now. See what happens. Oof. Yeah. Enters tapped. We definitely, yeah. That's the other thing, like, so the Pixie is a 1-drop. It's a 4-off 1-drop in the deck. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this might get out of hand really fast. Do we Cecil first and then Momentum Breaker next turn? I think maybe we do, because this kind of like disincentivizes him from attacking in with these things he really wants to pump. And he wants to pump him a little more than he probably can in this one turn here. So hopefully this disincentivizes him from attacking in, because Cecil has a death touch. Of course, if he does, we can still at least get rid of one and then momentum breaker the other. This is fine too, though. So I think we actually attack in. No. Wait, no, we don't. Just in case. We do this, and then we can still... We can still block with the death touch. Okay, he gets rid of the Tifa. And then we bounce this for next turn. Also, importantly, Momentum Breaker avoids all their indestructible and hexproof stuff. It's like a really big thing for this deck. It's like the main, it's like the only way that this deck avoids things like removal and sweepers, etc., etc. Hopefully we can keep up. See, he knows the jig now. So he's just gonna play out as many cheap things as he can. Of course, we can still we don't have a way to bounce this again, unfortunately. So, yeah, and he probably just gets rid of the smallest Chocobo, and the bigger one and Tifa are our main problems here, right? But I think we just have to keep trying to put a dent. I don't want to start, like, these other bodies and stuff don't really matter, because all this stuff's gonna be way too big and out of hand very shortly anyway. So we just have to kind of pray that we can catch up before he can pump all this stuff until, you know. I think we go no attacks too, because we can chomp the Chocobo with the Pixie if need be, and kill Tifa with the Knight. With Cecil Dark Knight. Okay, and yeah, we've got him slowed down a little bit here. That was pretty big. So he's probably waiting until he can, like, Giga Pump Tifa in one turn and just swing right through everything. But this Acolyte can start getting us more chumps, more cards, some life to maybe get us out of range of that kind of stuff. So I think we just attack in with the Pixie. Maybe even should have gone in with Cecil there. But still, I love disincentivizing him from attacking with anything until he can, like, one-shot. Which is, I think, clearly what he's looking to do at this point, right? Ooh, wow, he just scoops. Nice. He's probably got a handful of, like, Snakeskin Veil and Overprotect, which are completely useless against us, so... That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Not even just the Momentum Breaker, but also the Ward. The Nowhere to Run prevents, like, Ward, Hexproof, all that stuff. And importantly hits things while they're still, you know, like, if you can hit them before they get super pumped. So that's really nice. So as you can see, I just wanted to show here the, like, current meta since the bans. And for Diamond and Mythic right now, obviously, like, pretty low numbers for everything, because it's only been like a few days, right? Since excuse me, the bans. But it's looking like, especially in Diamond Mythic, Omniscience, you know, Kona is, and this quote-unquote Gruul landfall. I'm still just, like, calling this mono green. It's got one red card and a single mountain that's that it can fetch with Fabled Passage when it needs to. So these are, like, super strong decks right now. Since I guess some of their checks have been banned out. Supposedly, I've been kind of keeping my eye on this. It seems like apparently Artifacts is like back on top now. It was like really strong um as we kind of moved into, I think like when whatever it's called came out. Yeah, when Edge of Eternities. But to be honest, I haven't really been running into it a ton. So not sure what exactly is going on there. Also, even according to this, apparently it's one of like the higher play rates. Now, this I believe mono white is super strong, and I see it constantly. This deck too. Now, this is just the archetypes list. So if you go to the deck lists, um, let's see. Yeah, like specific list for this deck is insane. But you still see Gruul Landfall, Mono White Life Gain, the Green Landfall deck, this like Auras deck. This deck, by the way, oh my gosh, I feel like this is actually super, super strong. Obviously, it's actually in like the top like handful here. Um, but yeah, I feel like people have been kind of like, I haven't heard anyone talking about this really. Everyone's, talking about some of these other decks, how strong they are, how strong Kona, Demir, this landfall deck, Life Gain, Orzhov. But this deck, now as primarily like more of a control kind of player, I play a lot of blue stuff and stuff with blue in it. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that this deck does here, the spell can't be countered. Creature spells you control can't be countered. It has trample and haste. It's a 3/2 for 2. Combat damage can't be prevented. Like, what does this card not do? This card's insane. And then you've got this too, uncounterable 4/3 for 3. And then whenever you like try to target one of their creatures with removal or something, he draws a card on top of it. This thing too, when you target these, they just start pumping other stuff. I mean, and then obviously this card, Ouroboros, insane card, like super, super strong. And they use it in conjunction with, yeah, this pumps this, which pumps everything else even more. And then you've got, yeah, this thing too, which starts giving everything ward and even more counters to pump onto all this stuff. This deck is like crazy strong. So interesting to see. Yeah, like the numbers bear that out, because I've definitely been feeling like this deck is busted. I'm not gonna lie, and I don't hear anybody talking about mono green stompy like everybody's complaining about, or talking about how strong these other decks, Kona, Landfall, Demir, Life Gain, and the Orzhov Sack, which they are. I mean, these decks are all super strong right now. Honestly, too, I feel like Reanimator is like in crazy strong. Yeah, here's a Reanimator list. Of course, it's saying only 50%. Anyway, though, I'm seeing a ton of Reanimator, and you basically have to have ways to check it, or you can get cooked pretty fast. But yeah, overall, like general meta list for Diamond and Mythic, like Omniscience and Gruul seem to be some of the top decks right now, with Life Gain and Demir Midrange, White Life Gain, and this Orzhov Sephiroth list all being super, super strong right now. And as you saw showcase today, I think we played 3 games against this, won all 3, played twice against the Kona deck, won both of those. Overall, we went 7-3 with this list in Mythic. So, I mean, clearly not a like, this deck kind of feels, I don't know, it feels similar to sometimes like when I'm playing with Mono Blue Tempo or something, and it's like, I don't know, you you like you're doing a lot with a little, and you're like just trying to barely get there by the skin of your teeth, but it's got a lot of tools to do that, and clearly did pretty well with it today. 70%. I mean, obviously only 10 games, but not bad in Mythic. Like, got back up to like top 800 ish. But yeah, so kind of adapted this list from a few different main inspiration was Danny T. Law, I think. I saw his video. He kind of created like a version of, obviously, like this kind of idea has been going around for a while, like Pixie and Kieran to bounce things like these, and lists built around that. But he included, and I don't think I've seen this yet in this kind of list. He's got the flankers. Obviously, like we were talking about ourselves with, we brought in a bunch of flankers into the control lists we've been running lately, specifically for all the reanimator shenanigans. But it is just like with those control lists when we talked about this card, it's just so versatile and has so much utility that even when you're not going into reanimator, it this card just does a lot. You know, it's got flash. It's a 3 power that you can flash in, you know, when they're not expecting to either flash in to block something and can kill a 3 toughness creature that wasn't expecting to get, like, was maybe expecting to get chumped or something by a Pixie or a Kieran. Like, no, we're going to kill it. And you get the enter the board effects also is potentially another target for these to bounce. To get the enter the board effects again. Of course, these bouncing things like this to get them back in hand, like this for the to plot their stuff, and this to either exile or gain life and scry is kind of expensive at that point. Like, you know, imagine you've got this for the bounce, so 2 + 3, 5 mana, and in this list it's like only 23 lands. I did like that idea as well from the list he made, cutting down some of the lands and going like really low on the curve with this kind of deck. Sounded really good, because I've seen other versions of this deck that run like, I've seen ones with like 26 lands. I think this one has, so this is one I was looking at, kind of getting some inspiration from as well. But I like some of the ideas he adapted, Danny T still speaking of, for the list, and going lower on the mana curve, you know, not Elspeth, not having 4 big things. You know, there's a 4-drop, which is, you know, if you only have 23 lands, 4 drops actually kind of expensive. Also, this is like a top end. You're probably not, even in this version of the list, you're probably not ever looking really to cast this for 5. I mean, sure, if you get there, but that's not really what this deck's trying to do. And then this, I literally took straight from Untapped GG, and it seems to be like one of the current like best performing lists, or maybe that was from like over the last month or so, which is still pretty similar to that other list we were just looking at. You know, it's got some top end in the form of Elspeth and running like 26 lands. You got 4 copies of the 4-drop. You've got the Archenemy's Charm for 3 black. I definitely like the idea that he has of less lands, lower curve, you know, a lot to do early, and then these interrupters and flankers. Really big. These come in super clutch. And as you saw, there's even more like plotting stuff going on right now. It's not just, before it was like mostly just mono red, with the slick shots that you saw. That was super clutch, right? You're seeing less mono red now, but still, like, that creature specifically gets run in like other lists anyway, and it's not like mono red and Boros are disappearing, like, especially in best of 1 on arena, like, that stuff's never gonna go away. So that's huge to have. And there's other other shenanigans going on with other kinds of things getting plotted now. People are trying a lot of new builds since the bans. So this card can come in really, really clutch and really kind of throw a wrench in a lot of the stuff that you're coming up against. Also, just in general, people do not expect, like, when they start seeing like Orzhov and this like pixie bounce like stuff going on, they're not expecting for you to basically have like a counter spell, you know? Like it's not exactly a counter spell, but for all intents and purposes for one turn it is, you know? They can't play that spell this turn, and they still don't. It's not like plotted like normal. They still have to pay to get it back, not the full cost, but you know, they gotta pay the tax on top. You know, this man is apparently this owl Avon man here is apparently a tax collector. Okay, that's what he's got in his hand. Actually, here is this is the bag. Okay, this is the coin purse, and he's going around collecting the taxes. So I loved the idea of including this. Now he also this card too. He brought this card in, which can be really nice, especially once you start getting kind of a wide board and like a decent number of flyers out there. Having this to be able to keep them from getting hit with a big sweeper or something like that can be really, really big deal. Um, and as you saw, I think in one of the games too, just literally having this as like a 3/2 body for 2 that you can also make flying is really nice. Start putting on the pressure with other things, like when you have some flankers out there, like you're not just swinging in with little. Technically, there's no like 1/1s in this deck, but in some other lists, or even just the pixie bounces something. It's a 2/2. Once you've got stuff swinging in for 3, and you got a few of them now. Like that's not like control lists and people trying to just like get to their combo like you saw with the Kona. This is real pressure now. Like when you have things swinging in for 3, right? And he also put in I don't even remember the name of the card. It's one of the new Spider-Man cards that I've never even really seen people play with yet. And I do like the idea. It's like some card draw, which this deck list, kind of a deck list, does really suffer, especially if you can't get out an Acolyte in any kind of timely manner with some flyers or something to be able to get in with. To start getting some cards back. You can run out of steam. So I did really like that idea, but this card here is, and as you saw in some of those games, I think in the mono blue one, and maybe one other game against the like Gruul landfall list potentially or something, this can start to get really out of hand for your opponents. Whereas without something like this in this deck, it doesn't really have the ability to. It definitely doesn't have the ability to go tall, and it's kind of hard to go wide, especially with the idea of this version of the list where you're running lower land count and you're running a bunch of small stuff, but then you keep bouncing your own stuff and replaying like cheap spells. You don't have a ton of lands. These 3 drops are really costly for you to get out, especially the 4 drop. It takes a while for you to even get to something like this and maybe start getting card drawback. So it's still even hard for you to like. You're not really a go wide deck until this gets on the field. Then as you keep looping your cheap spells. Play something out, play in a pixie, play in a Kieran, bounce it, play it again. This starts making tokens, which can be really important for chumping. And if you don't need to, or once you've gone wide enough, now you can start pumping everything and go tall with a deck full of, you know, little like 1 and 2 drops that like aren't, maybe don't seem super threatening on the surface, but like you start getting counters on this, counters on like they're already 3 power creatures. You know, this is already a 3/2. You can make it flying. 3/1, 2/1 flyer. Like you start getting counters on these things. This thing, every time you bring it in and bounce, it's already a 2/2 flyer. You turn it into a 3/3 flyer. These guys are already like relatively decent sized bodies to start pumping. And this too, obviously, like you put a counter on this, it's a 5/5 life linker now that has all these additional effects too. It's making 2/2 tokens that this thing can pump. Like it can get out of hand. So I really like this card, even though I like the idea he had of including that. You know, also it's something new. It's a new card. It's a different idea. But I feel like this card works really, really well in conjunction with this whole idea of playing like cheap stuff over and over. And this is a way where this deck can really like go wide. This doesn't get you there the same way this does. 2 tokens to start chumping with and then pumping everything once you're wide enough and kind of like stabilize is can be really big. This card's like really good, I think. So we put that in here. Also, I do like the idea of this as like some form of like insurance, get out of jail free if things don't go well enough. So I like the one-off include of this. I've played this in another deck. I think it was like a 4-color control kind of thing, and having the instant speed with like sweeper that has additional, like can have additional effects and stuff can be like insanely powerful. And a potential, like especially against these things like, you know, mono white life gain and some of this other stuff where it can get really out of hand. They can go super wide or super tall. A lot of decks out there right now. So having this to potentially draw into is nice. I also really do like this. So we brought this in too, because you see it in some of the other lists with this kind of stuff, because you can play it out impending for 2. And one of the other things is that, yeah, it's really nice to like play out stuff like this or the Tiny Bones, the Grim Bauble, bounce them, get them back, keep playing them over and over. But once you've played out a few of these, that whole idea kind of goes away, and you don't really have any way to bounce this stuff anymore. Like, you can only bounce one thing, right? So you end up sometimes without running out of steam a little bit, especially if you don't have more card draw going and whatever. But like obviously eventually sometimes you end up having to chump with these or block to kill a few other small creatures that need to go before they get too big, or start creating a bunch of tokens or something like that. So now you've kind of gone through a decent amount of your bounce, and this whole idea is kind of gone now, which feels kind of bad. Well, this, for literally 2, can get them back. It mills some cards itself, so you can hit stuff when you need to that you don't even have in the grave yet. But you can also play it after having played out a few of these and get a bounce back, which can be really big. Not to mention, once it actually gets on the field and starts swinging, now you can do that every turn, which can be very, very big. Also, it's a little bit of, mid game kind of like if you get this out early-ish, get something back, keep going, bouncing your stuff, doing all your cheaper stuff. Eventually, when you can get to this, now you've got a big 5/5 body that can keep getting back more bounce, which can be really beneficial. So we brought the one-off of that in as well. So we cut down on a few things a little bit and kind of adapted the list from the Danny T. Law deck that kind of inspired this. Yeah, and I've been seeing stuff like this around for a while. I mean, obviously, it hasn't been like super meta, very popular at all. Like the win rate hasn't been insanely good, but I like this kind of idea in this deck list, and we adapted some of the other stuff I thought was really strong from what you've been seeing in it as well. And yeah, it did pretty well with it today. So, and it's just a lot of fun. It's something different. It's something I've been wanting to try for a while, and some different kind of idea to play. It feels kind of reminiscent of other fun stuff to play, like Mono Blue, which is maybe not that strong right now. I'll probably make a Mono Blue tempo video soon, but I just don't know if it has the legs right now in the current meta with like all the reanimator stuff going on, the like turn 4 insane reanimator combo, Kona combos, you know, the giant creatures that Gruul and mono white can end up with, where, you know, they can end up really tall, really wide, you know, they can kind of do it all. So maybe we'll check that back out. We did actually, before the end of last season, I think that's what we ended up like grinding up to Mythic with. The last little leg of the way was with Mono Blue tempo. So, and this kind of feels similar. A lot of fun, like fast flash, cheap stuff going on, and a bunch of different like little tricks up your sleeve, you know. You can bounce back, flash in. Yeah, very cool. Also, this card is pretty cool, being able to essentially kind of have a semi counter spell in a little Orzhov list. Is pretty cool, and like it hits a lot of people very unexpected, and it comes in super clutch, as you saw in some of the games today. So yeah, if you thanks for checking it out and listen to me yap and ramble. If you're enjoying it, I also noticed some of the clips from today. Something was going on with the mic. I believe I've fixed it. I don't know what the deal was, so some of that's a little off for today, but hey, it is what it is. Had a lot of fun playing this, and yeah, I think it's definitely worth checking out if you want to have fun. I'm not gonna say it's like the strongest thing out there, but I think you did a great job adapting it for the current meta, and it can be pretty sneaky. And I feel like it's a little bit like sleeper, like it's a little more powerful than it seems, and you can really like eke out some wins against some of the like top decks in the format right now, as you saw with like Gruul and Omniscience being Gruul Landfall and the Simic Omniscience being like super high win rate, but still won a bunch of games against that today. Went 7-3 in like high-ish Mythic. So yeah, check it out, and yeah, leave a like, a subscribe if you enjoyed it, and you know, comment, let me know what you think. Again, any ideas for adapting this list, or any optimizations or improvements you can kind of think of. Pretty cool, pretty fun little list here, I think. And so we had fun playing it today for sure. Thanks for stopping in. See ya.